All right, welcome everybody. This is going to be the recap for this last week in our live chat room, ending on Friday, October 15th. Couple things I need to talk about before we get started and start looking at our naked stats or naked setups for the week is I will not be doing any trading for this next week. I will not be keeping track of any of the naked stats for the PAP setup. I will not be doing any trading in CB. I will only be doing the first trade of the day, and that is it. I'm spending my time getting ready for some live webinars that I have coming up. Also going to be doing a brand new video for all of our subscribers. We'll be talking about several things, also be getting into some of the new things that we've been looking at, the knockouts, the dailies, and that type of thing. So if you are a subscriber, be looking for an email letting you know that new video will be available. With this free webinar, for those that are not a subscriber, I'm going to be talking about something I'm sure you've never heard about. Talking about the 5 dimensions of profitable trading. It is what I use in my daily trading, and the beautiful thing about the 5 dimensions is we can use these patterns, okay, for any time frame that you wish to trade in. All right, and I do talk about how it is very similar to a hologram. If you haven't read my article already that I wrote back in the late 80s about the holographic market, just go to my website, binaryprostrategies.com, click on the About Kevin, and you will see a link to that article. Okay, so some really interesting and cool things I'll be talking about, things you haven't heard before, and also why I feel this approach to trading is going to be the most successful way of trading. If it was not for these particular patterns, had I not discovered this, I would not have been a trader all these years. So it's something new, something you haven't heard about before, and I think it's worth your time to get an idea of a little bit more about the way I look at the markets, the way I've been looking at the markets here now for over 30 years. I've been a trader for 40 years, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. So be sure that you sign up. Just if you do get my weekly updates via email, you'll see there's a link there where it says sign up for my free live webinar. If not, you can go to my website, binaryprostrategies.com. When you hit the main page, there will be a pop-up there that you can also register as well. Pick a date. Like I said, it will be live. I will be streaming it live. And I'll go through the presentation, and then we can answer your questions. And also, if you stick around to the end, I'm going to be giving away something for free, so you can read about that once you sign up. Okay, so that being said, let's take a look at our stats and see how we did for the week. Okay, so let's take a look at our PAP. This is one of 5 different patterns that we teach you in the core strategy on top of the 4 different dimensions. This is looking at what we call naked setups because we're not looking through all 4 dimensions. All right, so these particular setups are very black and white, very mechanical, no guesswork. Okay, and we're just going to show the stats for that. All right, and so that means if you were to just blindly take the setups based on what we show on the charts, these are the percentages that you would receive in terms of winning trades. All right, winning trades. And okay, so as I mentioned last week, I've been focusing on the Aussie and the yen. I will continue to do the Aussie and the yen as we go into this next week. But once again, I'm only looking at the first trade of the day. So what that means for me, I'll be looking at either the first trade on the Aussie or the first trade on the yen. I will not be looking at the euro or the pound for my first trade of the day. I'm just looking for the Aussie or the yen first trade of the day, okay? And I will not be doing any trading this week except for the very first trade. If you're going to be a trader and you're going to trade all week, that's what I would be looking at, sticking with the Aussie US and the US yen, okay, as my 2 primary pairs to trade. Once again, I suggest that if you're new to trading, you stick with just one pair. If you're more advanced trader and you are more of a consistent trader, then I think you can start trading 2 of them. Of course, once again, that also depends on your account size. The more pairs you trade, the larger account size you're going to need to trade with. How much? That depends on you and your success and what your drawdowns look like, okay? So it's going to be different for everybody, all right? So that being said, first trade of the day, once again, I'm listing the first trades that were generated during the early morning when I start my trades. You can see morning, once again, 80%. Night was 100%, so I'm still averaging 90% on those first trades of the day. First trade of the day for me is anything after 8 a.m. Central Time and anything after 7 p.m. Central Time. So those are my first trades. Your first trade could be any time. I suggest early in the morning. I typically will not generate a new trade after 10 a.m. In the morning, and I will typically not generate a first trade after 8 p.m. in the evening. Okay, so also I want to say that the morning activity is always going to be where you're going to most times hit your objective. Typically you can do it within the first hour, and that's also usually going to be the case in the evening, though the evening can be a little bit different because the evening action typically is slower, but it's smoother and it typically lasts a much longer period of time. So if you're a late night owl or your schedule permits for you to trade later in the evening, early in the morning, it's also a very good time to trade. So that's what I love about binaries. That's what I love about these patterns, is it's always available based on your schedule, and any time is good as long as you know how to read the markets. Okay, the better you are, the better trader you're going to be at any time during the day. For those that are starting off, I recommend just a few times to really get your hands around it, and then as you become more proficient in what you do, and as you become a better reader of the action, then really any time is a good time to trade. You just have to be a little bit more patient and wait for the right conditions, which we teach in the core class. Okay, so that being said, a really good week overall for the stats. Happy with that. I had a decent week. Had one Tuesday was a down day for me. Did get a little bit more aggressive than I should have, and it just happened to be a down day. Thing is when you're trading any type of binary, there are going to be times when you want to adjust your size, all right? So particularly if you're doing in the monies, I do a lot of in the monies. So you're not going to make money if you're trading onesies, okay? You have to be able to adjust your contract size. So what I typically do is I start off with a base amount, and then I add to that based on the strength of the setups. But when you do that, keep in mind that nobody is perfect, and you are going to get hit on size, okay? So most of the time, because my percentages are so high when I add in size, it is going to be a winner. But you know, like anything else, even if something is 99% accurate, there's always going to be that 1% that it doesn't work, okay? So don't think because the probabilities are high, you're not going to have losses. So I got hit, actually I got hit a couple times on doing size, and that's just the way it is, and that's why I ended up with a down day. The key about getting hit is you have to remember, this is like any other business. It's how you work your way out of it. So if you're a trader and you've been trading for any period of time and you start to have losses, the way you work your way out of a loss is you work it out slowly. Most people want to start getting crazy. They do revenge trading. They want to start adding on more contracts. They start using martingale strategies. What that means, you just start to increase your contract size. That is not the way to work yourself out of a hole. The way to work yourself out of a hole is slowly. Sometimes it can take all day to go even, and that's just what you have to do. Once you start working your way out of the hole, then you can start getting more aggressive, okay? But that's the way to do it. Don't go crazy and think that you're getting in the hole. You're going to have to work your way out of it very quickly, all right? That's the worst mistake you or anybody can make. That's where I've seen most people blow their accounts out, is they don't know how to work themselves out of a hole. When you do go red, okay, that is particularly if you're demo trading, all right, it's a great opportunity to build up your confidence, okay? So when you go red in your demo account, okay, work your way out of it slowly. Every time you work your way out of a hole, it will start to build up confidence. You will build up the confidence. So when you start having losses, you will be confident to know that you know how to work your way out of it and start going green again. Okay, so losses are part of this business. All right, if you're going to give up and get frustrated with losses, you don't need to be in this business, because you will have losses. Every trader does. The successful traders know how to work their way out of it, and they stick with it and they keep going. Those that don't know how to work themselves out of loss, typically they self-destruct, and they just don't have the discipline to work themselves, work it out slowly, being patient, knowing it may take a day or two to go green again, and that's what destroys most traders. So take it slow, be patient. Red days are going to happen, just like green days. Hopefully you're having more green days than red days. Just work your way out of it slowly. But overall, still not a very bad week for CB. And that being said, make sure you do sign up for the live webinars that are coming up here. If you have any questions, you can go to binaryprostrategies.com, shoot me an email. Be glad to answer those questions for you. Also, if you would like to know more about how I trade, we do offer now a free trial. We have a free trial. You can stay in the trial room for a week. Try it before you buy it. If you like what you see, then you can stick around. It's only $50 a month. You're also going to get not only the 5-minute setups, but you're also going to get the nightly setups. That is, you put the trade on at night and you let it go the following day. Like a lot of people really enjoy those trades. But nonetheless, you can try before you try. So that is another option in the trial room. If you like these videos, always please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe, because I do have some new information coming out I think everybody's going to enjoy. Besides that, I wish everybody to have a great trading week. And remember, take it slow. If you're trading binary, stick to one pair. That's where you're going to have most of your success. Y'all take care, and we will see you on the next weekly recap next week.